you have been paying attention at all over the last few years, you will know we are in a massive AI hype train. With allegedly a revolutionary and disruptive new invention coming out every 15 minutes, it can be a little bit daunting to try to keep up with it and try to sort through and figure out what is hype versus what is actually going to help your business. But fortunately, I am here and I have absolutely no life at all, and I have nothing better to do than to test and play with AI tools all day, every day. So after testing literally hundreds of different tools thoroughly, I have come up with my list of my top 18 must-have AI tools in 2025. But before we get into that, my name is Chris. I have built and sold a couple of businesses, one of which I got to $100,000 a month in revenue before selling it in 2019. I am currently on business number 3, and I love building incredibly efficient, high margin lifestyle businesses that will make your life freaking awesome. So anyways, if you like this video, if you get value out of it, if you don't mind hitting that like button, hit the subscribe button, the notification bell, all of that crap that YouTubers typically ask their viewers to do, I really appreciate it. And now that we got that out of the way, let's get into it. So when I'm evaluating tools and I'm trying to see if it actually is going to be valuable for a business, I'm primarily looking at 4 different criteria. The first one is going to be ease of use. How easy is it to use? Is there a learning curve? I'm using AI tools to make my life simpler. I don't want to make life more complex for me or my staff. So being easy to use and being user-friendly is incredibly important. Number 2 is going to be versatility. Ideally, I would like it to be able to be used in a variety of different ways, and even better if you can replace a variety of tools with only one tool. So if one tool can do multiple things, that is a big bonus. Number 3 on the list is going to be reliability. I don't want to deal with bugs or crashes. The developers have to know what they're doing, so that is a big plus as well. And then number 4 is value, affordability. It has to be affordable, and most importantly, I want to be getting value for the dollars being spent. Am I going to get return on investment as a result of this tool? So now that we know what we are looking for, we are going to get into the top 18 must-have AI tools of 2025. All right, so now we have our criteria laid out. I'm going to get into the software that I think every single business should have in 2025. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to list it each category one at a time. First, we're going to start off in the general productivity category, and we're going to start off with a tool called FuseBase. Now, FuseBase is not a highly well-known tool. It's not super popular, but it is essentially a note-taking, productivity, and organization app. If you've ever used something like Notion or something like Coda, it is very similar to those tools. The user interface is very nice, it's very sleek, it's incredibly easy to use, and didn't require much of a learning curve at all. However, unlike Notion, it does have some additional bells and whistles, one of which is the ability to actually white label the software. And then the other thing is the ability to create client portals. So if you want a portal where you can collaborate with your clients, if you are in a client-facing business, this is a huge plus. However, even if you're not in a client-facing business, you can still use the portal feature for things like an employee training portal or something along those lines. The reason that FuseBase is on this list is that at the time of recording this video, it is currently on sale on AppSumo for a lifetime deal. So if you see this in time, go ahead and grab it. I highly recommend it. I don't think you will regret it, and it is an incredible value for the money. Number 2 on the list is going to be Typing Mind. So Typing Mind is essentially an AI client. So it allows you to use a variety of different AI models, almost like ChatGPT Premium, except for you can use whatever AI models you want. So if you want to use Anthropic or Grok or OpenAI or even open source models like Facebook's Llama, you can use it. Another cool thing is you only pay once, and after that, all you have to pay for is your usage. So you only pay for what you use, and for the vast majority of people, you're not going to use anywhere close to what would be the price of a subscription to ChatGPT Plus. And one of the other things I love about Typing Mind is its AI agents features, so you can create different AI agents with specific prompts or specific models, and you can save it so that it's easy to access in the future. It also has plugins that you can hook up to your AI agents that can give it the ability to do things like search the web or crawl websites or fetch data. So I've been able to do things like create a YouTube script generator, and I gave it a prompt that I've used in the past that works really, really well, and then gave it examples of scripts from videos I had done in the past. I gave it the ability to do research, search the web, crawl websites. So now anytime I want a YouTube script, all I have to do is just open it up, type in the topic of the video, and it's going to give me a fully complete YouTube script in exactly the format that I am looking for. Moving on to automations and internal tools. The first one on the list is going to be Pabbly Connect. So if you've used Zapier or Make or any type of automation tools to bridge the gap between different softwares, Pabbly is a great alternative to those types of tools. Now, in the last couple of years, Pabbly Connect has really come a long way, and it still is available for a one-time fee, starting at only $250, and you get access for life. At this point, Pabbly Connect basically integrates with every single software on the planet. So if you have two different softwares that you want to talk to one another, but they don't have a direct integration, this is a great choice for setting up those automations. Item number 2 is going to be Replit. So Replit is a vibe coding platform that allows you to code using English prompts. It also allows you to create and deploy entire applications all in a single platform. One of the things I love about Replit is it has everything you need all in one platform. So it has the database where you write the code, it has storage, it has authentication, all neatly organized under one platform, and you can deploy it to the cloud in just one click. Now, a word of caution, if you're not particularly tech savvy or you don't know the fundamentals with programming, I don't recommend you would build a production level SaaS with this. The reason is that AI tends to introduce a lot of security flaws, but it is really good for things like internal tools or for automations. The next category up is going to be presentations and designs. So first on the list is pitch.com. Now, pitch.com allows you to generate entire presentations with a single AI prompt. I use this software a ton. I use it for investor decks. I used it for sales decks. It is really cool, and it allows you to create individual links for every single person you want to send it to. It also has the ability to personalize presentations, and when AI generates the presentations, I was surprised at how good they actually turned out. And once AI does generate the presentation, if you need to make edits, their interface makes that incredibly easy. You can get pitch.com for only $250 a year, which I thought was incredibly reasonable given the value that they produce. Number 2 on the list is going to be StoryDoc. So this is another AI presentation generator. Although the interface is a little bit different, I would say StoryDoc's interface is a bit easier and a bit simpler than Pitch. However, that does mean it is a little bit less flexible and a little bit more limited when compared to Pitch in terms of what type of edits you can actually make. But one of the things I do like about StoryDoc is, especially if you send proposals to clients and you need to get them signed or you need to get them accepted, StoryDoc does have that feature, whereas Pitch.com does not have that feature. And number 3 on the list is going to be Canva. So I actually resisted getting a subscription to Canva for a very long time. I looked at alternatives, I looked at lifetime deals, and I tried and tried and tried. But unfortunately, or fortunately, I eventually caved. And I have to say, I actually do not regret it. I love Canva. I love how versatile it is. I love how much you can actually do with it. And I actually completely got rid of Adobe Creative Cloud, and now I exclusively am using Canva for all of my design work. What I love about it is you can create presentations, you can create spreadsheets, you can create Facebook ads, whatever it is you want. However, I will say that for things like generating entire presentations with one AI prompt, it doesn't really have that capability to the level that Pitch.com or StoryDoc does. So that is a downside, and that is ultimately why I subscribe to both of them. So moving along, we are getting into customer support software. So using AI to help automate your customer support. So first up on the list is going to be Intercom. Now, this is an incredibly popular tool, especially in the SaaS space. One of the things that people love about Intercom is it can do a lot, and it is relatively simple to set up. It has a lot of built-in automations, it has a thriving third-party market, and it has the built-in AI-first agent called Finn. Now, another really cool thing about Intercom is they have a startup program where startups don't have to pay for the first 12 months and they get it completely free. Of course, you are going to have to pay a pretty hefty bill once that 12 months is up, but at least you get it for 12 months. Now, the biggest downside, aside from the hefty price tag once your 12 months is up with Intercom, is the 99 cents that they charge for every single ticket that is resolved by their AI agent. For me, I thought that was a little bit pricey and ultimately was the reason why we moved away from it. But for some people, if you can afford it, it definitely can make sense. Number 2 on the list is going to be Tidio. Now, Tidio has a lot of the same features as Intercom. It has the AI agent, it has the help desk, the ability to consolidate your multi-channel communication and communicate people across a variety of different methods while keeping it simultaneously all in one place. However, it is missing a few key features, one notably being the knowledge-based feature. So you are going to have to set things like that up separately. It is missing a few other things like being able to create product tours or push notifications. However, those weren't things I used in Intercom anyway, so for me, it wasn't a big deal. Number 3 is Help Scout is another really great option. It's only $50 a month for unlimited users, and unlike Tidio, it does include certain features like the knowledge base. So I highly recommend Help Scout if you're looking for a budget option, because it does have the AI agent built into it. Now, I did notice there was a difference in quality of answers when comparing Help Scout to Intercom, but it is possible that that was my bad because I didn't set it up properly, so I don't take it too seriously. And finally, number 4 is a little bit lesser known. It is called Thrive Desk. Now, the reason this is on the list is because at this moment, while I am filming, they currently have an AppSumo deal as well, a fully lifetime deal. So you pay once and you have access for life. So that is always a good thing. Originally, I'm not going to lie, my expectations were not particularly high, but I was pleasantly surprised at how complete the product was. It seemed like they already had everything. They had the AI agent, they had the help desk, multi-channel communication, they had a knowledge base. They had all of the bells and whistles. So overall, I was very, very impressed by this software, but even if you miss the lifetime deal, their pricing still is very, very reasonable, even at the full price. And honestly, even if you miss the lifetime deal at full price, it's still a very good value. For the lead generation category, I am going to do the most shameless plug ever and recommend Strictly.ai. So Strictly.ai, of course, is my company. It is an AI assistant for your website that is specifically designed for converting your visitors into leads or appointments. Now, unlike other chatbots, Strictly's user interface is specifically optimized for conversions. And also, unlike other chatbots, it has the ability to render other elements from the website onto the screen, which keeps the visitor more engaged, and the visual nature of it makes it more interactive. And this has been proven time and time again to improve conversion rates by as much as 283%. And this is based on a study of almost 100 websites. With a coupon code, you can get started for as little as $25 a month. It's a very big potential return on investment depending on your existing traffic, especially at such a low price. At $25 a month with the coupon, it's a really, really good value, because even a modest improvement in conversion rates could make a big difference and a massive return on investment. Okay, so moving on to web design. So a lot of people will recommend for web design using the vibe coding tools like Lovable, or I mentioned Replit previously. However, I do not recommend this, and the reason is that AI, when building websites or coding stuff, it doesn't tend to prioritize things like page speed or SEO. And so for this reason, if you're building a traditional website or an e-commerce website or something like that, I recommend using a platform that is specifically designed for that purpose. Now, my number one choice for this is actually Brizy Cloud. Now, funny enough, they actually got started as a WordPress page builder, but since then have expanded out and they've broadened their horizons, and now they have their very own platform. They just released e-commerce, so you can now build fully functional e-commerce and membership websites on Brizy. And overall, it is very, very reasonably priced. And if you're an agency, they do have a white label option as well. And if you buy in bulk, you can get it for as little as, I think it's like $10 a month per website or somewhere around that. So overall, like I said, very, very good value. And finally, we have the marketing category. Now, the discussion on marketing AI tools would not be complete without discussing Go High Level. Now, Go High Level, I have a little bit of a love-hate relationship, but mostly a love relationship, because it really, really is a really good value. It is a little bit pricey for some people, but it's especially a good value if you have multiple businesses or you have a consulting business or an agency, because you can completely white label it under your own brand for $300 or $500 a month, depending on the plan that you go with. Now, that plan includes an unlimited number of sub accounts, which means you can sell it to an unlimited amount of people and your cost stays virtually the same. You will have to pay for usage, but from my experience, it is incredibly inexpensive and much less compared to what you can typically charge your average client for access to the software. Now, another big plus to Go High Level is it can do basically everything. So from email marketing to text message marketing to landing page to funnels, AI agents, automations. I mean, it can literally do it all. Now, when there's something it can't do, it has a pretty good app marketplace, so there usually is some type of tool that integrates with Go High Level that can do it. The only downside I would say to Go High Level is because it does so many different things, there are certain things that it doesn't do as well as tools that were designed specifically and only for that purpose. So for example, Go High Level does have an AI ad manager tool, and while it's pretty cool, it's not as effective as a tool that was only and specifically designed for that purpose. And speaking of which, this actually leads me into software number 2, which is Play.io. Now, this is an AI ad manager, and so it uses AI to manage your Facebook, Google ads, TikTok ads, LinkedIn ads, any ads you can think of, it can pretty much manage. Now, one of the cool things about Play.io is it has a white label feature, but it directly integrates into Go High Level, allowing you to bring it into your Go High Level dashboard. So this gives you and your users a very cohesive, integrative experience, and you don't have to log into different platforms and remember different logins. You can do it all under one roof, which is really, really cool. Play does start at $150 a month, and for their white label plan, I believe it's $500 a month, but overall it's a really good value because that does give you an unlimited amount of accounts and you can really do a lot with it. Number 3 on the list is going to be Shown.io. This is actually a competitor to Play. However, it does have a cleaner, much more simplified user interface, although it is limited to just Google ads and Facebook ads. One of the things I like about it is its simplicity. However, that does limit you on the amount of customizations and how much you can tweak your campaigns. So for that reason, I do highly recommend Shown.io specifically for beginners, or if you're a small business that doesn't have a lot of marketing experience but you want to manage your own ads or try AI. It's a really, really good option for that. Now, at $29 a month, that is a bargain, especially when you compare it to hiring an agency for potentially $500 or $1,000 a month just to manage your ads. Number 4 on the list is going to be Creatify.ai. So this is a tool that you can use with one prompt. You can generate a multitude of different AI video ads. So it does UGC style video ad content. It actually has a selection of different AI avatars. Now, I personally don't use the AI avatars. I just haven't really had success with them, but I do use it for compiling and organizing my footage, creating ads from it, and using the AI voiceovers. And this has saved me a ton of time. It is incredibly effective, and it's allowed me to create a lot of different ads and test way more ads in a very short period of time compared to what I would normally have to do. So overall, Creatify has saved me a ton of time, and it has allowed me to test a lot more ads than I normally would have because I can crank them out so fast. And finally, number 5 on the list is going to be Opus. Opus is a tool where with one prompt, you can take your long form videos and turn it into a couple dozen short form videos. It works incredibly well. You just put in the YouTube link, enter in a prompt of kind of what you're looking for, and it's going to give you a couple dozen options for shorts that you can then edit and tweak as you see fit. Overall, this has made it to where I can create 10 shorts or so in about 30 minutes, which has drastically increased the speed of my output and the amount of content that I can crank out. At the time of this recording, it's only $15 a month, and that is a freaking steal. All right, well, that about sums up my video for my top 18 favorite AI tools. If you liked this video, if you enjoyed it, if you got value out of it, if you wouldn't mind hitting that like button, subscribe button, notification bell, all of that crap, I would really appreciate it. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you on the next one.